We've done this dance a few times, although this might be the last time we do it, but this game is based on a property I do not have any attachment to, and in fact this is a genre of film I have absolutely no desire to watch. And yet, somehow, someway, I found myself playing Alien Isolation, and my goodness, it might just be my favorite horror game I've ever played. In its premise, it's a pretty standard survival horror setup. You're trapped, you need to escape, there are hostile forces hunting for you, including one especially scary monster, and you have very limited resources to defend yourself. It is not the only game to work off this premise, although it might be the only game using that premise that I've played enough to get on this list. So what makes it stand apart? First of all, what a wonderful excuse to utilize a unique retro future visual presentation. Alien came out in the 70s, and this game adheres to that 1970s interpretation of what the future will look like. Reading data entries for lore feels so much more natural and earned when it's done in an environment where that actually is the only real way to communicate between devices. Hardware is bulky and chunky, nothing looks slick and cool, everything looks awkward to interact with. It makes the situation of Amanda Ripley feel all the more dire. Having nothing but your vague little motion tracker to detect where the xenomorph is so much more tense than if you had some real-time map with a marker on it. Your relationship with the xenomorph is famously the star of the show in this game. It's classic movie monster stuff. It hunts, it stalks, it always seems to wander into the most inconvenient locations. It's smart, but it can also be used to your advantage if you can lure it to some unsuspecting hostile humans. Despite being armed, the humans are the least scary thing in this world. Even the strangely resilient working Joes stressed me out so much more. There's something so eerie about these murder bots crushing your arm with their automated voice claiming they just want to help you. Through the suspense of these narrowly dodged encounters with the invincible xenomorph, the game packs a surprising amount of compelling sequences and set pieces, through which you always feel a genuine sense of progression. I love the presentation style that binds the whole experience together. I like how the game balances horror tension without ever making me feel powerless or like my gameplay choices don't matter. And I like how I was able to completely and thoroughly enjoy this experience with practically no knowledge of the Alien films. Is there fan service everywhere? I have no idea, I couldn't tell. I'm pretty sure you play as the daughter of the protagonist of those movies, but that's all I know. This is a standalone adventure as far as I'm concerned, and it's maybe the most compelling horror experience I've ever had.